Namaskar.
Namaskar, Puneet.
Hello, Mr. Chauhan.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
Welcome to my show, Valor and Wisdom. I'm your host. My name is Puneet Singh Mehra, and today I'm here with our special guest, Mr. Jay Chauhan, who's the author of The Love in the Empire. How are you doing nowadays, Mr. Chauhan?
Fine, Puneet. I'm delighted to be with you on the 5th of July 2020 for this program entitled Kohinoor.
Yeah,
I look forward to getting your story, which you're researching very well, on what happened to Kohir and how did it end up in the British Crown in the Tower of London. Is our story today.
sure. So today I'm going to tell you about the journey of India's biggest gold, Kohinoor. So as we know that India is before 18th century, India is the only country where the diamonds were found. And Kohinoor was found in the Golconda in the southern part of India in Andhra Pradesh. It is said that Kohinoor has a history of 5,000 years ago. It even mentioned in the Mahabharata. At that time, Kohinoor known as Samtak. That time Kohinoor known as a Samtak. The real origin owner of the Kohinoor was from the Kakatiya dynasty from the Warangal. Then afterwards, it traveled to Khiljis, Mughals, Persians, Afghan, and British. That time, Kohinoor was weighed around 793 carats, and in 1339, it was in the Samarkand. And in the 14th century, when Alauddin Khilji looted the southern part of India, during his raid in Warangal, he found the Kohinoor. Then he took over it. Then in 1526, when Babur invaded to India and he defeated the Ibrahim Lodi, and after when he looted the Agra, he found the diamond Kohinoor. And that time, the Babur gave a different name of Kohinoor, Babur's diamond. That time, the diamond known as the Babur's diamond. Then later he passed it to his son, and even Babur said that Kohinoor was so priceless that if someone sell Kohinoor on that time, that person can feed to the entire world for one day. Then afterwards, Kohinoor was transferred to his son, and in 17th century, Shah Jahan built the peacock throne, and in the top of the throne, he put the Kohinoor diamond. And every part of the world, people come here to India to watch the peacock throne and the Kohinoor diamond. Then during his successor, Aurangzeb, during his reign, a French traveler, Hotengo Borgia, he traveled to India, and when he saw that diamond, Kohinoor, he became so clumsy. So what he did, he took the diamond from the Aurangzeb and he reduced the size of the Kohinoor. So what he did, the weight of Kohinoor diamond was 793 carats. He cut that diamond and make it to the 186 carat. Then afterwards, in 1739, from the Persia, Nadir Shah invaded India and he defeated the Mughals. And afterwards, he took over the peacock throne and Kohinoor back to Iran or Persia. Then after he took for some period of time, and in 1736, the Afghan ruler Ahmad Shah Abdali, he took over the Kohinoor diamond from the Nadir Shah. Then he took the Kohinoor diamond for a certain period of time. Then in 1813, a Sikh king, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, he defeated the Ahmad Shah Abdali during the battle, and he brought the Kohinoor back to India, and it remains with him for the next 20 years. And afterwards, Ranjit Singh had willed the diamond to the temple of Jagannath in Puri. Then in 1834, British East India Company fought a battle against the Sikh warriors, in which Sikh warriors got defeated, and the Britishers signed an agree which they took over the Kohinoor diamond from India. Then in 1853, this one person named is Dalhousie. He brought the Kohinoor to Britain, where he get to know that the Kohinoor is a priceless diamond. Then what he did, he presented that diamond in front of the queen. And that time, the Kohinoor is weighed around 186 carat. But the queen decided to give a new shape to the Kohinoor. So again, he invited a Dutch jeweler named Cantor. So that jeweler cut the diamond and reduced its size from 186 carat to 105.6 carat. And afterwards, the Britain queen has the diamond of Kohinoor, which now you can also see the display on the Tower of London. And let me tell you the meaning of Kohinoor. So Kohinoor is a Persian word which means mountain of light. At that time, Kohinoor shines so bright that it attracts every people. And during the ancient time, the Kohinoor, as I told you, the real name was Kohinoor was Shamantak. That time we know Kohinoor as a Shamantak. So this is the journey of India's biggest diamond, from India to Khiljis, to Mughals, to Persians, to Afghans, British, and we'll see next more. So, Mr. Chauhan, what do you think about this part of journey of India's biggest Kohinoor diamond?
This is a very interesting story, and I'm really impressed, Puneet, that you have figured out the dates and really all the details of Kohinoor. So I just have to leave my chair and bring back the book in which I described the Kohinoor. So just stay put there, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
First thing I want to say to you, Puneet, and everybody listening, is that here is my novel called Love in the Empire, in which I made the point in the very last chapter. There's a history section in which I describe Kohinoor and also the story that you actually portrayed today. So I think to understand that if, I said in the novel, that if you were a diamond, watched your own history and you went through from hand to hand, it was never sold as a diamond. But the diamond, if it was a person, like a prisoner, watching what is happening, like they happened to Prithviraj Chauhan. He was many times defeated Muhammad Ghori. But when he was defeated himself, what happened to him? If you look at it from a diamond point of view, it was made smaller by Aurangzeb. Then the Queen of England made it smaller. But in today's history, the diamond is sitting in the crown of the Britain, used by the Queen for coronation, and it's in the Tower of London, which I have seen myself. And I've described a chapter in my novel where I've described visiting the crown. So that's my story in terms of my experience and what I said about the Kohinoor. So I'm delighted that you reviewed the subject of the Kohinoor. So I want to today discuss with you. And if you need to give the answer in Hindi, give it to me, because I want all our Hindi speaking brothers in India to listen to their story. What are they doing to put the diamond back in the right hands again? So here is my question to you. So should the diamond, you're a young generation of an Indian, we are talking in this program in a foreign country, and now, but we want to address the audience in India. Where do you think the diamond belongs?
It always belongs to India.
And if it is in the British crown, what should you tell the crown about returning it to India?
What will I say? I will say it's what you took from the India. It is the time that you need to give back to India. See, it's like a loan. If somebody took a loan from some person, no matter how much the time period it is, at the end of the day, he needs to send that money or the loan back to that person or to the bank. So that's what I feel.
This is what India is doing as well. India is hesitating, your generation is hesitating to think about what India not only lost the diamond, it lost their pride in the last 1,000 years. When the Muslim rule came along, the British came along, and the British taught the Indians to say sir, sir to the British, right?
Yes.
And we became what I call the second-class citizens of the world. And that transition of being treated second-class continues in many of the white countries around the world, which are the ex-colonies, the white colonies of England. That includes Canada, US, Australia, and in up to very close time, South Africa. If you look at the South African history, there are a lot of Indian people who were treated, and they couldn't figure out whether to treat the Indian people as the black people or a brown people, but they were all a second-class citizen. And the story of Gandhiji being thrown off the train that everybody knows is a story that the British, he was a barrister in South Africa, and he was thrown off the train when he had a first-class ticket to travel in South Africa. So what we're going through is the understanding of the history from the Kohinoor history point of view. So how do we regain our dignity? And what I have done in my life is that I wanted to be a lawyer, and a lawyer in the British style. So I went to England, became a barrister, and they said, which I put also in my novel, and Lord Denning said to me in Cumberland Law, it's a true story, that you can't be a barrister in England because it's a society where you have to refer the file from the solicitor, and then you will never be referred the file. So I decided, as I told in the novel, that I'll live in Canada. So I became a lawyer here. I then became a judge in this country, and I made my point that yes, if a country says that you are a second-class person, you cannot learn our language, I illustrated that point without a fight war. What history has done, as Britain has done, imposed their thinking on 60 countries that now follow the common law system. And the Queen is the Queen of many countries. The question is, as we learn, as Britain is learning today, there are 3 ministers who are Indian origin, key ministers in the British government. Yes. In the US, there are many Indians who are doctors. And Trump is today deciding how many H-1B visas he should give to Indian people, because these people are the key people that are providing the skills in America needed for computer industry. So we are reviving our history back again. And all these discussions about Kohinoor and regaining our dignity, our education. And in the last program, we also talked about the education, actually, where Taxila and Nalanda, the top universities of India, where Chinese and many other South Asian countries came along to study there in Sanskrit. That universities were destroyed by the Muslim invaders. And when that was happening, we had to regain, there was in the curriculum of the Indian education, they removed the science which the emperors of India did not allow that to happen. So now we have regained our science, understanding of the modern world from the European world. We borrowed their knowledge, and we're moving ahead as the world communities have come together to say, let's just move forward together. And then these are adjustments of history, like returning the Kohinoor, returning our dignity, giving us the understanding that brown people, like black people, also their lives matter, their dignity matters. That's my view of our history program. It was a pleasure talking to you, and really enjoyed this program.
Sure, Mr. Chauhan. Mr. Chauhan, what I feel, it is the time will come that the peacock throne and the Kohinoor will come back to us.
तो इसके लिए हम आज को थोड़ा हिंदी में बोल, आप समराइज कीजिए क्या क्या?
पिकॉक थ्रोन और कोहिनूर भारत में जरूर आएगा और उसको हम लाएंगे.
अक्सर हमने सुना, and it will happen.
Sure.
Good.
It will happen.
Yes, but it will happen politely. In the Hindu tradition, Gandhiji did not create a war. He supported the Britain in the war against Hitler in Germany, because we were on the side of ethics in the world. India did not ask for independence like the Americans did and said that we will fight a war for our independence. India did not do that. So our history of politeness in the world community should continue. So whatever happens to Kohinoor, our dignity, we will regain it. But with dignity, again, without a war.
Yes.
Good.
Sure.
So if you enjoy the program, all the listeners, please make your comments at the bottom in the YouTube and circulate this to your friends. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. And to every 1.35 billion Indians in India and across the globe, let me tell you one more thing. The history you know, every one of you, is not the history. That's a brainwash. But don't worry. Why fear when Puneet is here? I'm going to open. Thank you. Thank you so much.
हिस्ट्री बनाएंगे हिंदुस्तान के लिए अभी हम बनाएंगे.
Yes, I'm going to write down a new history for the rest of the world. Okay, Mr. Chauhan.
Okay.
Namaskar. Take care.
See you.